A game that we are revisiting because it's getting so close to release date of October 11th. Dragon Ball Sparking Dragon Ball's I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, October 11th, 2024. A booty.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Budokai Tenkaichi. Oh, I still said it wrong. Tenkaichi. There. The next installment of Budokai Tenkaichi, which the last one was released out in 2008. So it's been over close to 15 years. Close to 15 years. And the reason why I brought this game up again is because, like I said, it's getting so close. And the first time we talked about it, we didn't know much about it. But now everything's on the table. The gameplay's on the table. The roster size, the different editions of the game. So let's go ahead and roll the trailer. We'll just start jumping into it. I don't think the trailer's not going to show us anything more than we haven't seen. There's tons of gameplay trailers out there too. But so with this game, like I said, it's coming out on October 11th. Some things to know. Let's go into the game modes, I think, first. Again, that was a big thing that a lot of people were wondering about. Is it going to have a story mode? What other modes is it going to have? And so the game modes that are in the game at launch is going to be episode battles. So that's going to be the kind of like the story, very in line with the source material of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. So those are the two games of the timeline. It's going to have custom battles, tournaments, local multiplayer, and online multiplayer. So diving into the battle, the episode battles, that's the main story, main single player campaign mode. There's 8 players that you can play as. So Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Girin, Goku Black, Future Trunks, Piccolo, and Gohan are all the main characters that are in this episode battles. Like I said, it's the timeline of Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super. The one thing that's cool about it, though, is these episodes, you can stick straight to the storyline, or you can make a choice in the game or during the game, and it causes a different ending to that battle, which is really cool. So it shows different elements or different alternate endings to the story, and I think that's really neat.
I'm super. That could be the number one thing that I'm like the most excited for, because it's like, I'm a purist, and you know that like when they change stuff, like they change story or they change plot or something like that, I'm kind of like, why? But this isn't so much like I don't know. You've already seen these episodes, so like you know how it's supposed to end, and then you just it's almost like consequence free.
It's similar to the Disney what ifs. Like what if Goku didn't die in this battle, or what if Frieza won this battle? What happens next? And the way they describe it is, yes, they'll have these elements of like alternate endings, but they're little different branches that will ultimately bring you back to the next episode battle, which I thought was really cool.
It's different paths to the same road. You know what I mean? But like, it's still cool to see like, oh, like a what if, exactly like you said. Yeah, I'm excited to see. It's like, what if Frieza won? Yeah, let's see. Like,
With that, it's not just like it's actual cutscenes and voice lines. It's not just a picture of this is what happened since you finished this battle this way. No, it's a cutscene of that can be triggered with specific finishing moves. And bringing one of the examples they use is the first fight they go to fight Raditz. Like, you don't bring Piccolo, and it's Goku fighting Raditz on his own. So it's really cool that it's not just a quick decision. Like, you can think about it and it will alter the fight, and I think that's really neat.
yeah, and I almost want to do this all in reverse.
Yeah.
Like I almost want to make every opposite decision that happened in the show just to see like everything new that's happened. Because like you said, it's like it's not like a little text and an image. It's like they've created like an actual like
Storyline to it.
Yeah, they've created a storyline and a scene for all of these choices, and it's like It's like deleted. It's like deleted scenes. You're getting like deleted scenes
Yeah.
from the show. Like if it went this way, this is what we were gonna do, but we never aired it.
Some of these like triggers aren't going to be easy to come by. Like there's specific moments that will alter it. Like you have to you might have to play it more than once to get a specific ending, or you might have to play it this way. There's not just one or two ways to do it. It could be a specific move that triggers it. It's really neat, and it's going to add to the replay value of the episode battles and things to keep you bringing into the game.
Kind of just want to play the game all the way through, and like I said, just make every opposite decision from the show.
So moving on from that, so that's a big thing with the episode battles. But more so, which is really cool, you can make your own like episode battles, and they call them custom battle mode. And this is where you can create your entirely original battles that you think would be cool to have. I for example, I don't even know, Piccolo versus a clone Piccolo in a match. Like, whoa, where did this Piccolo come from? And with that, you can create your own post or pre and post credit scenes, title screens. You can change the music, change the characters' facial expressions, have specific battle requirements. So having little Krillin fighting Frieza, but you can't fly or something like that. Things like that. I think that's really cool and really gives the player base and the fans a creative outlet to really make a cool like this is my Dragon Ball Z episode battle. And I think that's so neat. And there's specifics that you can do in terms of victory conditions that you have to complete it this certain way to win. And if you don't win, this will happen. And I think it's really cool. It's a very unique way of bringing creativity to a game, I guess, in this kind of nature.
I hope you can load these up.
Yeah, you
Like,
can. Yep.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so if you don't want to build them or create your own, you can load in other people's. The developer will have some that you can fight, but I just think that's cool. It makes it seem like you can create part of the show.
I hope it's like Mario Maker where you can like have like level codes or something like that. So you'd be like, yo, I made this cool thing, man. Check it out. Like, here's the level code.
In the trailer or in the video of it, you can see like you can really get detailed with how the camera moves, zooming into the cutscenes, have some transitions, and I think that's really neat. And I think more games like this should do stuff like that.
I think it's giving, we really talked about this the first time that we talked about this game. It's taking Budokai, what the game that people loved, and like really bringing it into a modern space, and a lot with like that zoom in technology, like the way the camera angles work and stuff like that. Like it's really just giving it a real like a modern uh yeah, like pick me up. It's just kind of boosting it into this, millennia, which I'm super excited for.
It's not straying away from what it is either. It's just expanding of what it has been to even more greatness. And like we discussed in the first video, we talked about this. We wondered like, oh, is the destruction really going to be a part of the game, or is that just a cutscene? No, they added destruction of the worlds, and depending on what power moves you use, like that will like destroy buildings and things like that, and change the landscape. And I thought that that's really cool. This expands on what the game is. Um, the animations look really good. We talked about that in the past. Moving on to the next game mode, there's tournaments, which will be online or offline. There's various different types. So specific rules and character choices that you have to pick within. Like you can't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus little Krillin in a match. Like no, it like scales down to the specifics of the fight, or you can't use key and things like that. So that's really cool. Now, here's moving on to the multiplayer a little bit. There's local multiplayer. However, it's limited to, I think, I could be wrong unless I'm just reading this wrong or watching this wrong. Limited to um, one map and like limited amount of characters.
Which I don't understand.
Part of it was, I think it was a last minute decision to add it in. So they just wanted to smack it in there because they had originally talked about not having a local multiplayer and just doing online. And I think this is just their way of trying to please everybody without fully investing into a local multiplayer. And I don't know why it couldn't. I don't know why it has to be ported two different ways. If that makes sense, I don't know why they couldn't just say, "Okay, offline mode, online mode," and you can load different people in. I don't know.
I don't know either, to be honest. And you would think that it would be an easy fix, but yeah, unfortunately, it does kind of tip the hat that the local multiplayer was just kind of a last second decision. Um, I would say though, like, yeah, it's gonna kind of suck at launch, but like, honestly, guys, don't be like, I wouldn't. This isn't like a kiss of death. Wouldn't be surprised at all if within the first few weeks of launch, you get an update and suddenly there's a lot more characters and a lot more maps available for it.
I don't know, and they're definitely not a kiss of death. This game is one of the most hyped up fighting games, anime games, and just games in general of this year. So I don't think split screen is going to kill this game, especially because we're a day and an age where everybody plays online anyway. But it's kind of it's nice that they even had an afterthought of like, oh, we should throw this in because there's going to be people that want to play with their friends, and that's really cool. And I think this game looks great. And then with the roster size, so the confirmed roster size at launch is 182 characters in general. Yes, it's different transitions or variations of Goku's Super Saiyan 1, 2, Vegeta, Gogeta, like it's things like that, but it's still really cool that you have all this variety in characters that you love and the different transformations that they have. And the characters are from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, GT, um, and amongst all of the characters we've come to love, there's also new characters that are being introduced specifically in this game. And a couple of those are Lord Slug, Frieza Force Soldier, Turtles, and there's so many, and that's really cool. And biggest thing is like all these characters have their own abilities and transformations and animations, and I think that's really cool because they could have said, okay, this character looks like this character, so let's just they have the same move set.
Don't get it twisted. 182 characters, even if it's like different transformations, is a crap ton of characters. And if you're a real, if you're I don't want to say if you're a real, but like if you're a decent, if you're decently into Dragon Ball Z, these variations do mean something to you. I mean, they like Goku and Goku Super Saiyan 1, like mean the difference between them means something to you. So they are different characters, you know what I mean?
Definitely, and they all have their different abilities, so that's really cool.
Yeah, and 182 is absolutely insane.
That's so many.
It's
And
so
then
many
we'll get into
characters.
this a little bit later, but that's just at launch. They already have 20 plus characters lined up for DLCs and the season passes and things like that. With the characters, they have different stats and they vary between characters as well. So, and that's another thing 182 characters, and you had to have a little variations in their stats and things like that. And so the stats that there's five different sections of the stats. There's the health points, which is obviously their health. Attack is the strength of their hand-to-hand combat moves and things like that, and their strikes down. Combos damage is how much combo like damage the combo can do. Like the higher it is, the higher damage it does. Special attack focuses on the blast and ultimate blast and how strong those are. The key determines how much strong the key blasts are and how quick it recovers. And with this, it can all be customized or upgraded with capsule customizations. And I'm curious to know how that works. Is this going to be like a 2K like virtual currency situation where you can buy a bunch of this customizable caps, or is it going to be you unlock or you get more as you beat these episode battles and online battles? And so that's where I'm worried. Or is it a little bit of both? Like you can buy a bunch and then earn a bunch.
I think it's probably going to be a little bit of both. I mean, I was a little nervous about it too, but honestly, this doesn't. I don't know. Dragon Ball Z has never really felt like a cash grab company. Like it's not a cash grab franchise to me. You know what I mean?
I don't think so, especially with how like they could have easily said, "Okay, we're going to release 75 characters right now, have 10 different DLCs," or kind of how it does with Call of Duty. It's a battle pass and you can buy this character right away in the battle pass, or you can earn it with the paid version. And for them to have 182 characters from the launch, that's really cool. I just want to know how these characters are being unlocked. Is it through the episode battles? You earn like the virtual currency and you unlock them that way. And with that, how long is it going to take to earn this virtual currency with 182 characters? Or is it truly you beat the episode battle, this character's unlocked, this character's unlocked? So I'm curious to see how that's all going to work.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't see Dragon Ball Z as a cash grab kind of company. As a I keep saying company is a cash grab kind of franchise, right? So they're gonna get theirs. I mean, they're gonna get theirs with the DLCs and stuff like that. But I don't think they're gonna be overboard. I really don't.
Well, I'm just curious, like, how much time is it going to be to, like, let's
Are
say that
you're saying you're afraid it's gonna be a slog?
I just don't want, so like with all these characters that are released at launch, how much access do I have to a lot of these characters? So, and I just don't want it to be one of those situations where, like, I put 30 hours in and I only have 70 characters out of the 182. Like, that's what I don't want.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't imagine it being like that because the thing about having 182 characters is like you literally have to unlock them quick. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you unlock a character like after each episode, maybe you get 2 or 3 characters unlocked.
That's what I'd hope, because if you look at, there's not much else in terms of the gameplay stuff that I was looking at. But if you look at, oh, actually, one big thing I want to bring up here is there's no crossplay between generations of. There's no PC to Xbox, no Xbox to PlayStation 5. It's strictly whatever you're playing on is who you're playing against. And that brought the question of how long will the player base last on specific consoles if that's the case. But I think it's going to last a lot longer than people are giving it credit for, just because it's been 15 years since we got a Budokai game. And
I mean, I don't want to be this guy, but like traditional Budokai is dropped on PS2, so like the player base is PlayStation, probably. Newer player base all over the board, but a traditional player base, like super mega fans, probably PlayStation. If you like, you gotta pick one. Where's it gonna last the longest? I'm probably going PlayStation.
that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. And who knows? Maybe they will add a element where it is crossplay. But at the start, they said no plans of doing crossplay. But that's a lot of their games. A lot of uh, Banco games.
Namco,
What did I say?
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I'm so bad with words today. I struggled. I said booty at the beginning of this. Like, I'm struggling really hard today. But yeah, I just think it's really cool. So there's different editions, and this is what made me question of, is it gonna take a while to unlock the different characters? Because let's go ahead and pull this up. Let's start with the standard edition. So if you pre-order the standard edition, you get 6 character early unlock. And so that's where it made me start to question, like, okay, if you're just giving 6 characters away, like, how long is it going to take to unlock some of these?
So I'm glad that you brought this up because this is one of the things that we were looking at. But if you're looking at these characters, it's variations, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like at launch you're probably gonna have at least one playable version of each character in the game, and
Okay.
the unlocks are gonna be much more of like Super Saiyan 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think you're gonna get one playable character of each character in the
Mhm.
game, and your unlocks are variations.
That makes sense. I just want to know how fast it's going to be. And I guess I should, and yeah, like, that's just me. I only have so much time in a day to play games, and I work a lot. I have my own son, my own family. So I just don't want to be sitting here like kind of how I did with the multiverses. I don't want to have to
Yeah.
grind for hours and hours to unlock some of these characters. But I think you're right. I think it's gonna, you start with the base character, and maybe it's one of those things like, okay, you want to unlock this character, you have to win with this character 2 or 3 times, or do this specific
Right.
move. Kind of how it is with Call of Duty's gun attachments. You have to kill so many enemies with this gun this way, and that's how you unlock this attachment. So I think you're probably right. That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, and at its core, I mean, it's still a fighting franchise, right? So you're gonna go through. It's not like, I mean, there's gonna be people that want to unlock all 182 characters here, right? But essentially, it's a fighting franchise. So what you're gonna do is like most people are gonna work through the story mode, and then once they hit the online, they're gonna have their mains. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's only like 2 or 3 characters that they only care about playing online, right? And those are the characters that they want to level up. So like, yes, of course, there's gonna be people that want all 182 characters, but there's also gonna be a lot of just like online tournament fighter people that are like, this is my main, I want these 4 variations, and that's all I really care about.
And so that's
Yeah.
the standard edition, which is $69.99, and then we move on to the deluxe edition here, which is 99, or it's $100 basically. You get 3-day early access. You get the season pass, which includes DLC 1, 2, and 3, which you get early access to that, which will include 20 new playable characters. So I know we kind of talked about this in the past, but honestly, like, I feel like that's enough because some of these DLCs or these season passes can be like upwards of like $50, and to get all these additional content, which it stinks there's no physical things with this. But I think in terms of like DLC, it's enough because there's sometimes where these season or these upgraded versions, it's only 3-day early access and a couple skins, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit worth it. The next one we have is the Ultimate Edition. Again, a lot of digital stuff here. So if you're just listening, it comes with what was I gonna say? It comes with Ultimate Edition comes with the 3-day early access, the Ultimate Upgrade Pack. Oh, this is the same. Oh wait, where am I at? I'm looking at 2 different things here. Oh, Ultimate. I'm lost on my screen here. Ultimate Edition.
I got the
Yeah.
ultimate.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Ultimate Edition comes with a Lantern card with I don't know what that means. I just think it's a cool looking card. So that's a physical item.
Oh, the lenticular card.
Yeah. What does that mean? What is it?
Lenticular is the cards where when you twist them, they like move.
Ooh. Okay, but not for $110. Like, but it comes with the season pass, which comes again the 20 characters, 3 DLCs. You can summon Shenron, summon Super Shenron, so that's cool. An upgrade pack, ultimate upgrade pack for Goku Super Pack, which comes with an emote, voice set, customization item, and 2 player card backgrounds, and then again the 6 characters right off the bat.
How much was that one?
That one's $110. Yeah, I think if you're going to do, I might as well just do the standard edition or the deluxe edition, to be honest. If you want the DLCs, I think that's plenty. Last one here, which isn't very advertised too many places here, but the next one we have is the Premium Edition, which is Bandai Namco's store exclusive, which comes with the lenticular card, but it also comes with this 10-inch by 6-inch diorama of Brawly fighting Goku. So, oh, and it comes with a steelbook. I should also mention that. 2 metallic bookmarks and 3. Or no, it's a card game cards, and then the other things that we've mentioned previously.
Is that really only 6 inches tall?
Yeah, it is.
That's tiny.
264 by 114 millimeters. So I did a Google search, and that's what it is. 10 by 6 inches.
That's tiny.
I know, and there's no price on it. There is a
maybe it's 6 inches wide, 10 inches tall.
Maybe.
Even still, that's tiny.
Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't look all that like high quality either, if that makes sense. It looks very cheaply made, I guess, but I don't know how much the price is on that. If you go on their store, you can be added to the wait list for it, but I don't know. I know Dragon Ball fans are probably like, I'm a Dragon Ball fan, but not as big as other people. So I'm sure there's a lot of excitement behind that. So I don't want to discredit that. If you think it's worth it, I just want to know how much it is. If you do know, let us know.
I'm gonna ballpark it like $200.
I would say 200 to 250.
Yeah, the turtle. We just talked about TMNT Mutants Unleashed. That was $200 for the turtle van.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess probably about the same amount or a little bit more.
Probably about $200 there.
Yeah, but so if you're a huge Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball franchise fan, like that's probably worth it to you. If you are into the collectibles as well, like yeah, I think it's gonna be worth. One other thing I was gonna talk about this game. These games are so hard. I think the learning curve for like getting good at Budokai games is so hard. Maybe it's I played as a kid, so I don't really remember, but I just remember I love playing them, but I struggled so much to play them well.
I was gonna go ahead and just put this in my pocket, and we were gonna move right on without talking about it, but we're gonna talk about it now. Dragon Ball Z fans, I love you guys very, 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 very much. Budokai players, get ready for this online multiplayer to get sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you if you're dipping your toes in this world and you're not ready, this is like the equivalent of like Super Smash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta get good. You
Yeah.
gotta get good before you even dip your toes in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be like a Michael Phelps before you get in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like-
that's how I felt like I just don't see myself playing online very much because I just know on especially the people that were a little bit older playing these games back when I was a kid and there's a big nostalgia factor and it's like riding a bike. You don't ever forget how to ride a bike. And it's gonna be the same thing with this game. You don't forget how to play a Budokai game and play it well and yes, there's gonna be a new refresh of the controls because there's a standard game control mapping and then there's classic. So you play it on classic and you've played as a 15-year-old kid, like you're gonna remember how to do it. Like for me, I wasn't that old.
I just want to throw a little bit of warning to new players out there. Like, if you're excited for this game and you don't, you're just you're probably younger. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably younger, and you're just like you're a Dragon Ball fan and you're excited to get into this. This multiplayer is intense. Yeah, Budokai players are legit. They will just murder you.
The one thing I want to know with the 182 characters, there's a ranked mode online. I'm curious to know like how that rank's gonna work. Like again, we can't have Krillin fighting. Unless it's pretty well balanced, you can't have Krillin fighting Frieza all by himself. I guess I don't know.
No, I think the characters are going to be balanced. I almost think of this as like once you get into the online section, I feel like it's going to play a lot more like Street Fighter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What I would say is like they probably raise attack damage on certain attacks and then nerf certain attacks to only have a certain amount of damage set in the multiplayer setting, and regardless of what character you use, there's like equivalence of that. Just like how like a Street Fighter would be.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna avoid online for the longest time until I really do get good. So, again, like Dave said, if you're wanting to get into the game, you want to go online, dip your toes before you dive in because it's gonna be a struggle bus if you just dive right in.
Just get ready. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, guys. And I'm not saying like, oh, you got no chance if you never played this game before. Like, you obviously got a chance. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna just know you're gonna load in and you're gonna get your ass kicked a couple times. You know what I mean? Like, and you're gonna get your ass kicked pretty bad. So like, just know that that's coming and just work through it. Just work through it, baby. You get good.